Welcome to the Donley Auctions Hour right here on WLS AM 890 every Sunday at 10 a.m. We are Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois, and we're located just 45 minutes northwest of O'Hare on I-90. Come out and see us. We have live auctions at least once a month. We are also online, so you can bid from the convenience of your own home. Check us out at donleyauctions.com or give us a call at 815-923-7000. Hi, I'm Susan, and I'm here in the studio today with Randy and Mike Donley to talk about upcoming auctions, how to be a consignor, and how to be a buyer.
Hi, I'm Randy Donley, here with Mike Donley at Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois.
Good morning, Randy.
Hey, Mike. Well, as you folks probably have figured out by now, we have switched our day and time. We were on the air at 7 o'clock, right? On Saturdays.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We've now switched to Sundays. Every Sunday, we're going to be on at 10 a.m. on WLS 890 a.m., which you're listening to right now. Now, we were having a hard time finding a time, wouldn't you say, Mike? I mean,
they kept bouncing us around there.
Right, we were bouncing around the time slot because of sports games and so on and so forth. So WLS has found us a permanent time here at 10 o'clock on Sundays. So those of you who have not heard us because you listen on Sundays and haven't been listening to us on Saturday, this is a whole new show for you. What we have for you is this. Donley Auctions is located in Union, Illinois, and we specialize in auctioning antiques, but higher-end antiques and antique collections.
Yeah, we specialize in different things. We're not your typical auction house. We're not doing china and silverware and furniture and household goods.
Right, we're not doing estate sale work.
No.
Now, we do specialize in certain items, and the easiest way to get a hold on what we do right away is jump to our website at Donley, D-O-N-L-E-Y, DonleyAuctions.com, and you'll really be able to see a full variety of the type of things we sell, what our auctions look like, what we're looking for. But we're actually here kind of as a financial show. We're squeezed in between a couple financial shows, I know, but that's what we do for you. We can help you take your antiques and antique collections and turn them into cash so that you can reinvest in other things and or just simply hang on to your money and save it.
Enjoy it, yeah. I mean, a lot of times people built these collections over the years with the thought that someday that they would sell it and be able to live off the proceeds. And that's what we find with a lot of these bigger collections now, that people are cashing out or somebody's passed away in the family, so it's time to go.
And part of the service that we offer, ladies and gentlemen, is very simply we can give you our opinions as to what your collections are worth and or single items. We can give you values on your items so that you can determine first whether you even want to sell it or not, and certainly whether you want to sell it at auction. And we will be giving you all the reasons that we believe an auction is the route to go when you're selling your collections.
How do people get started, Randy? Tell them what's the easiest way to get started.
Well, I always recommend first you do go to our website and learn a little bit more about Donley Auctions. We've been here in Union, Illinois for 50 years. And those of you, again, who have not heard our last shows on Saturday nights, may not know that Mike and I have been operating the Donley's Wild West Town in Union for 50 years.
50 years, yeah.
We have closed that operation now. We closed it during COVID. It was an antiques collection that our father started back in the 1960s. He was a collector of all kinds of items, including antique phonographs and antique lamps. You name it, he collected it. I mean,
guns, military, automotive, barbershop, anything.
Telephones, telegraph, toys. I mean, he was quite a collector. And the Wild West Town, actually, I would have to say, was his man cave.
Absolutely. Yeah, before there was such a thing as
a man
caves.
cave on steroids, and he opened it to the public. Well, people weren't necessarily all that interested in just coming and looking at antiques. And we did have a large Wild West collection here at the museum at the time. And so we started theming everything toward Wild West and added rides, and it eventually became quite a kids' park.
It did, yeah. Aimed at families with children ages 3 through 11.
And we had a train here, roller coaster, kiddie hand cars, did pony rides. We did Wild West shows. I mean, it was, again, quite the park for 50 years. But that's all in telling you kind of who and what we do and have done in the past, and who Mike and I are. But during that course of time, during the 50 years that we were operating the Wild West town, we were always buying and selling antiques. That was one of the mainstays of our life. And in that period of time, we started doing auctions. Mm-hmm. And we would do auctions for people who simply requested, hey, you guys, can you help me out? But we ended up started doing some pretty big auctions.
Correct, yeah. We did a lot of phonograph collections, and then I think one of our biggest ones was the Medina Temple. We were brought in to do that, downtown Chicago.
We were definitely auctioning in the city of Chicago and had a lot of fun, as you say. The Medina Temple is one of our highlight auctions because it was so well known. That building had been operating as a music venue for probably since about 1905 or 6.
I think that's when it was put up, yeah.
Yeah. And then I think we auctioned it off in the late 80s or 90s?
I think in the 90s, yeah.
Yeah. So
late 90s, early 2000 maybe.
When the Shriners sold out the Medina Temple and they moved, we were called in to sell off the contents, and that's what we were doing until probably 15 years ago now, when we decided to enter the auction business on a much bigger scale, and we went full-time into the auction industry, where we really do specialize in certain items. Phonographs was one of the first items that we specialized in simply because our father collected phonographs.
Antique phonographs and music boxes, automatic musical instruments, Nickelodeons, band organs, things like that, yeah.
And because of the Nickelodeons and coin-operated items that were kind of connected with the phonograph hobby, we started getting into all coin-operated items like slot machines, pinball machines,
jukeboxes, yeah, anything that took a coin. We'd been doing the show for 40 years at the at Pheasant Run too.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Selling coin op there.
So if you do have anything coin operated, like you say, one item or a complete collection of items like jukeboxes, old viewing machines, mutoscopes, pinball machines, you name it. Anything that takes a coin in a vending type machine, we sell those big time. And we actually have an auction coming up in
October.
October.
Mm-hmm. It's our fall classic, is one of our biggest of the year.
So that would be one thing that if you have any of these items, you definitely want to contact us sooner than later so that we can help you. Our auction is October 23rd through the 25th. We refer to it as the Fall Classic. And anything for the man cave is in this auction.
There'll be Petroliana signs, neon signs, architecture, anything cool.
This is the Donley Auctions Hour. Give us a call at 815-923-7000.
You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Randy Donley from Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois, and I'm currently looking for old signs of any kind. I'm especially looking for old gasoline advertising signs and gas pumps in any condition. Old soda pop and beer signs are also very sought after. I even have buyers for old outdoor neon and porcelain signs that advertise a business. You'd be surprised at how much some of these signs are worth. Even if they're still attached to a building, we can remove them.
But you won't know how much we can sell them for until you send us photos at donleyauctions.com. That's consign at donleyauctions.com. That's our email, DONLEY, auctions with an S.com. Or give us a call at 815-923-7000. That's 815-923-7000. Thanks for sticking with us during that break. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here on WLS 890 AM.
You know, I'm so glad, Mike, that you brought up signs because, again, this being literally a brand new show on Sundays, people still aren't familiar with all the things that we collect. And we will actually be doing individual shows about certain items, like signs, for example. Man, we are so big into selling signs.
One of the hottest things right now is signs. So if you have a sign collection, even an individual sign, if you have an oil sign from an old gas station or something like that, you'd be surprised what these things will bring. And you can only know what they're going to bring when you send them to auction. You cannot afford to guess at these prices, folks.
Boy, you hit it right on the head, Mike. And that is, if you sell your items any other way than auction, you're really playing the best guessing game. Because who knows what items are worth. I mean, you can go online and try to track results for certain things, but by and large, the only way you're really going to know what your item is worth is to put it at auction. And when we sell at auction, we're not simply selling your items to a live audience, although we do have a live audience here. We're selling online all over the world, not just here in Illinois, not just in the United States. We're literally selling items all over the world. So if you have any type of old signs, all you have to do, if you'd like an opinion as to what we can get you for them, is send us photos. And the easiest way to send us a photo would be to go to consign, CONSIGN at Donley, DONLEY, auctionswithans.com. That's consign at donleyauctions.com. Send us some photos, and we'll call you right away and let you know our opinions as to, first, whether they're auction worthy or not, and a pretty good idea on value.
And this is no obligation, folks. We're not charging you for this. We're not expecting you. If you decide not to sell them through us, that's fine. But at least you'll have an idea of what the items are worth.
Mike, I'm so glad you brought that up, because one thing that we're going to be offering you on this show is a lot of free service. And that is, you know, when you call us or contact us, email us, write us, however you want to contact us, you're under no obligation whatsoever. And even after you decide that you want to consign with us at auction, we're simply charging you a commission for what we sell. Therefore, the more we get you for your items, the more we make. That's how we make our money, is getting you top dollar for your items.
So we'll fight for every dollar we can, because as you said, Randy, that's the only way we make money, is to make you money. So contact us, folks, because you'd be surprised. You'll be shocked at what some of your items might be worth.
And Mike, we always have to remember, having changed our time, in all likelihood, this has become a brand new show for our listeners. So we haven't yet told them results that we've gotten. You know, if you've listened to our other shows, you would have heard some of the incredible stories of items that have come in, what people were expecting and what we've got them, you know, the vast differences. And I'm just going to cite a real quick story about a woman who brought in a fishing tackle box and a few fishing rods. And I saw my gun expert walking in the door with these items from the parking lot. And I said, Neil, what on earth do we want that stuff for? I said, there's no real money in junk tackle. And he said, oh, Randy, he said, this lady had these items. She consigned a few guns with us. He said, I just want to help her out and get rid of these items for her. And I said, yeah, okay, I get that. No problem. And probably a half hour later, folks, Neil was coming out of his office with a knife in his hand that looked like it had been ground on sharpened on a grinder. It was grimy. It was dirty. It was a typical fishing knife that you would have in a tackle box, would you say, Mike? Mm-hmm. And it looked like nothing. And Neil said, Well, look at what I found. And I said, okay, clue me in, Neil. And he said, this is a Skagel, Randy. He said, I can't believe this woman's good fortune that I found this in her tackle box. And folks, that knife ended up selling at auction for $10,000.
It's a knife that if I was at a sale somewhere and I saw that, I wouldn't have given you $2 for it.
Well, no, Mike, you're spot on. I mean, if I saw it at a flea market or somebody's garage sale, I don't think I would have picked it up off the table. I never would have spotted that. But folks, that's what we do. Mike and I are not the only people here giving opinions. We hire experts. We hire very good people in all types of fields. And they're going to be on as guests. As we get going with this new Sunday slot, you're going to meet a lot of our experts on here. They'll be talking to you so that you can get comfortable knowing us, knowing our staff, so that you can contact us and have a dialogue with us. And hopefully we'll be consigning items for you and turning it into serious money.
And going forward, some of the other things we've stumbled across in the past that have brought big money, the license plate.
Oh, Mike, talk about the license plate. Folks, Mike, I'm glad you brought that up. This is a great story because you talk about something that I did not have any faith in. My brother brings me this license plate, and go ahead, you tell the story, Mike.
It was a Chicago license plate. Chicago started issuing license plates before the state did because they needed money to build roads and to maintain the roads. So they started their own license plates in 1905, and the first issue plate was made of aluminum. Looked like a very cheap license plate, and it says Chicago 1905 on there. And the amazing thing is, this was number one, plate number one. So this was the first plate of the first year of issue. So, I mean, I kind of knew it was a good plate to begin with, but I didn't know how good until I started investigating it and found out that the gentleman who owned it, his name was, I believe, Arthur Eddy, who was a very early pioneer in automotive history. He formed the Chicago Motor Club, which became AAA. He started the Chicago Auto Show, a lot of firsts. And so this word got out. I took it to a license plate show, and there was a big buzz about it. There are such things as license plate shows, and there was a big buzz about it. And the day it came up for auction, we were hoping, and even Randy thought it was a stretch. We were hoping to get $5,000 out of it.
You talk about a stretch. Yeah, I had no faith in that happening.
And that would have been a big deal to get $5,000 on a license plate. What did it end up bringing?
Brought $30,000.
Yeah.
Plus buyer premium.
Yeah. So I think they paid close to $40,000 by the time it was all said and done on that.
Absolutely incredible. Is that a world record? Could be.
I think it is for an antique plate. There's been some vanity plates, current vanity plates that have changed hands for more than that. But for an antique plate, I believe that is a record yet.
Incredible. And like I say, folks, that can only happen at auction. Otherwise, you're playing the best guessing game. Because even Mike and I, if we would have been selling it just as a private sale, like you just said, Mike, you would have guessed about $5,000 and hoped for that.
Correct.
And if somebody offered you $4,000, probably would have taken it.
And that's the thing too with auctions. At an auction, prices only go up. When you set a price on something when you're selling it, you negotiate down. You never negotiate up.
Yeah, it's the way it is, folks. It's the way it is, and. Again, you definitely want to contact us at DonleyAuctions.com or consign at DonleyAuctions.com is the easiest way to get through. During this break, visit our website at DonleyAuctions.com. That's DONLEY, auctions with an S.com.
Do you have a collection of coins gathering dust? Hi, I'm Susan with Donley Auctions in Union, Illinois, and we're looking for quality consignments. We're looking for gold and silver, whether they're graded or non-graded, and anything pre-1964 in half dollars, quarters, dimes, and silver dollars. Let's turn your collection into cash. Call us today at 815-923-7000. That's 815-923-7000. Donley Auctions, always looking for quality consignments.
Mike, one of my favorite TV shows always is the Antiques Roadshow, and I always get a kick out of the Roadshow because they make our case all the time. And that is this, folks. All the time when these people are bringing things on to be appraised at the Roadshow, they're always saying, Oh, I bought this at the such and such sale. I bought it at a sale. I bought it at a garage sale. And they buy it for pennies on the dollar according to the appraisals. And the appraiser normally will give them the auction opinion, the auction price. At auction, you could expect. At auction, you could get. So it just proves our point all the time. Auction is the way to go. You're not guessing. We're not guessing. The marketplace, the free market world out there is looking at your items and determining what it's worth on any given day.
So let's tell the people what happens here. Okay, so they send us photos. We tell them we like what we see. We give them a price on what we think it can bring.
Yes, so they can bring it in, and very often we go and get it. And one of the first questions always is, what's the charge for that? And I will tell you that very often, yes, we do have to charge to pick it up. But when we're coming to pick up somebody's gas pumps or signs or even vehicles, there can be a charge for that. But depending on the value of the items, sometimes you can negotiate with us to get either a half rate or sometimes even free pickup, depending on the value of your item. So the item gets here. Then what, Mike?
Well, it gets checked in, it gets tagged and given a barcode number, which will follow it through this whole auction process. It goes to photography. The photographer has to shoot many pictures of it. And before that, actually, if it has to be cleaned or maybe minor repairs done on it, that takes place. Then it goes to photography. After photography, then it goes to the describer. The describer has to look at it and do a written description of it online. Then it's scheduled for an auction. Might be a month away, might be 6 months away, depending on what auction is going in. And then it gets a tag on it that gives it a lot number. And it goes online. It gets our auctions are live and online. So there's sometimes tens of thousands of people looking at our auction all across the world.
And all this work that you just talked about gets done for a modest commission. We charge you a percentage of the final sale. And there is no front money. That's very important to know. Even if you were paying for pickup, we don't come in and give you a bill for pickup that you owe us any money at all before your items sell. So any charges to you would be taken off of the sale price. So once again, very important to know, no front money whatsoever.
Then the day of the auction, when your item is called, people see it live in the audience, and then they are watching it at home and bidding on their computers at home all over the world. There's sometimes phone bids, there's sometimes absentee bids. There's quite a bit of action when the auction actually starts.
In addition to all of that, we also send you a copy of your report once everything's been lotted online so that you can go follow it as well, with the link to our website at donleyauctions.com. That's DONLEY auctions.com. So as a seller, you just click on the red button, you go in, and you'll be able to see all of your items by your lot number and follow along with the auction.
And I would like to point out, of course, you heard Susan introduce the show this morning, but she just rejoined us. If you wonder where Susan's been all this time, you've been on the phone actually taking a consignor's call.
Of course, yes.
So thank you for listening, and thank you for the immediate response in calling us.
Phone is always ringing, and emails too. That is I would say the most popular way to get a hold of us is send us an email with any items you want to put in an upcoming auction. Send us photos and your location to consign@donleyauctions.com. That's consign@donleyauctions.com. I'd love to hear from you.
I want to mention some of the other items that we're looking for because, folks, we talked about a few things, but again, you're listening to us probably for the first time at this time slot. So I want to say we're looking for antique vehicles of all kinds, be it automobiles or motorcycles or bicycles, any antique vehicles, any antique advertising items. And the bigger, the better. Somebody called us a few years ago, and they had a whole sign from the front of an outdoor movie theater. The thing was enormous. And many people would have said, "Oh, that's ridiculous. That's way too big." Well, we not only sold it for big money, and it went out of state. It had to be shipped and everything. Shipping is something else that we'll take care of for you. But a few more items I want to mention: antique architecture, bars and back bars out of old saloons, amusement park rides. We'll sell either parts of the ride or the entire ride. Again, slot machines, arcade machines, jukeboxes, antique phonographs, radios and stereos, music boxes, anything from bars. We call it Breweriana. Anything from automotive, we call it Petroliana. And Tobacciana, obviously, is from a tobacco shop. Susan, you wanted to jump in here.
I want to jump in. I'm backing up back to vehicles because not only antique vehicles, where are my classic cars at? That's what I like. So if you have a classic car, we are not the only auction company that sells classic cars or even newer cars, but we're still looking for that mid-69 Camaro.
Yeah, but we certainly are one of the best.
I'm telling you. So all vehicles, I would say.
You bet. So we're going to have to take a station break here for just a few minutes, but we'll be right back at 8:90 a.m. WLS Radio, and we've got a whole second half to the show, so stay tuned, and we'll talk to you soon.
Welcome back to the Donley Auctions Hour. We're here every Sunday at 10 a.m. on WLS AM 890. We are Donley Auctions. We're located just 45 minutes northwest of O'Hare on I-90. Come out and see us. We hold auctions at least once a month. We are online and live, so you can come visit us or bid from the convenience of your own home. And you can see everything and bid online on our website at donleyauctions.com. And today we are talking about not only consigners, how you can consign items to any of our upcoming auctions, which is also listed on our website, but what you can do next as a buyer at our auctions. Randy, what do you got to say about that?
Well, first, Susan, I'm glad we're talking about that because, you know, I keep saying right now that we've switched times and days, now we're on Sunday at 10 a.m., I don't know that any of our listeners even are aware that we've switched. So people are still looking for us on Saturday nights. So I do believe most of you listening today are probably hearing us for the first time. And even though we're seasoned in the radio show world, you probably haven't heard us. So I do want to mention that we are always available. It's very easy to buy from us. You know, people, you know, we're always pushing for consignments. What do you have? What do you have? We want to make you money, but also this is a perfect time to be buying at auctions.
It is, and it's very easy to spend your money with us, I have to say.
It is, but you know, Mike will add to this. I know he's chomping at the bit to jump in, but the fact is, folks, that collecting has turned out to pretty much be a generational thing. And the world of collecting as we know it, the audience has gotten much, much older, and they have collected up all these huge, fabulous collections of items. But now at their age, they are consigning, and items are coming back on the market, which haven't been available for sale for 20, 30, sometimes 40 years. They've been squirreled away in collections. So right now, there's this little window of opportunity for all these collections that are coming on the market to be available for sale.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably 3 to 5 years, we're going to see a big wave coming onto the market of items that, again, as you said, we haven't seen for years. I mean, it's amazing the stuff we're seeing coming in on a daily basis.
So even if you're a seasoned collector or a new collector looking for something to start with, talk to us. Come to one of our auctions. Check it out online. We're bound to have something here for everybody in every interest that you can imagine.
You know, I agree with your assessment, Mike. It's a 3 to 5 year window we've got looking forward. You know, looking at the age of the average age of a collector right now, most of these people, men and women alike, are pretty much the real collectors are in their 80s. Mm-hmm. And this is a time now that they're selling off their collections. And regardless of price or value or anything, the biggest advantage you have as a buyer right now is the fact that it's available now. It's coming available. These items have been collected up, and at any price, these collectors would not have sold them.
And we're talking about the top merchandise.
Without a doubt.
Not the middle of the road stuff. The top stuff, you always want to invest in the top stuff because it'll always hold its value and it'll always go up.
Spot on, Mike. The fact is, if you're going to be an investor, you always want to buy the best. The best holds its value, whereas middle of the road is just that. They don't call it that for no reason. Middle of the road is just average, and average doesn't hold the big value.
Quality, not quantity.
Quality, not quantity. And provenance is important too, for sure.
Oh, my goodness,
Provenance.
Susan.
So, I know, right? We love provenance. But so how do you do that? Let's explain real quick how you can buy at one of our Donley auctions. For example, you got to look at the catalog. First of all, we have an auction coming up in October. So all you would need to do is go online to donleyauctions.com. Do you know how to spell it, folks? I hope you do. It's Donley, auctions with an S, because we do more than one. DonleyAuctions.com. And then just go to our website, click on the red button, and it will take you to our very own bidding platform where you can register to bid. That would be your first step. Register to bid. You have to put a credit card in, your name, address, all the general information, and you're good to go. That's about it. There is also a spot where you can mark the photos of the items you like with a little heart so you can remember your favorites and come back to those later. That is one way to bid, and you can do it from your home or from your phone. Isn't that nice? So if you're at the kids' soccer game, you're sitting on the sidelines, you can actually bid in one of our auctions. Another way to bid is to submit a phone bid. And that just means that I'm on the phone with you bidding on your behalf. And that way you can follow along. You're kind of live, you're just not here in person. So there is a phone bid. Another way is an absentee bid. If you just want to submit a request to put an absentee bid in for up to the maximum amount you want to spend, we will bid against that absentee bid with our other bidders up to your maximum amount.
And going back to the phone bid, this is for individual items. You're not going to sit on the phone for the whole auction with somebody for 8 hours.
Although we have done that before. But I would request that, any high level items, high value items, we would definitely do phone bids for you.
But most of all, we'd like to have you out at the auctions here. Come see what we're doing.
Yes.
Come meet us. We want to meet you. We want to know what you're collecting and what you're interested in. I mean, when we know what you want, when things come up, we'll give you a call and say, hey, this is coming up or whatever. We've built a lot of relationships that way over the years with people.
We really have. And the best part is it's a comfortable setting. We have tables and chairs. We have coffee, donuts. We bring in lunch for you. We have beer and wine and water. I mean, we just try to make it so comfortable for you to come to our location. It's really an event on the weekend, so you can plan to hang out with us all day. You can look at the items, touch the items, smell the items. You can check out everything before you bid on it.
I don't know, Susan.
I've seen people.
I don't want people sniffing around.
I think that's important. If you know, you know. You have to smell these items sometimes. Does it smell like smoke? Does it smell like...
No,
you know what I mean?
That's a very good point, because very often, when people buy at online or anything, especially antiques, you can get especially paper goods sent to you. It smells musty from a basement, or like you say, smoke from a smoker's home that some people don't enjoy.
But we do encourage people to come here, to Mike's point, is for that reason. So you can look at it, check and see if it works, check and see if there's scratches. Did we miss something in the photographs? You'll be able to look at it and judge it for yourself before you bid.
And then if you buy it, you can just put it in your car and go home.
Yeah, that's right. It doesn't have to be shipped.
Susan, I love how you said that they can buy at their daughter's soccer game. It reminds me of we sold a set of very high grade elevator doors.
Bronze elevator doors.
Yeah, to a gentleman, and they went for $200,000. So I had to meet the person that spent $200,000 on a pair of elevator doors. So I decided I was going to deliver them, and I had to ask this gentleman, "What are you going to use these for?" Because I'm thinking wine cellar or what could he be using these doors for? And he looked at me and he said, "Darned if I know." He said, "I was sitting at my daughter's softball game." He said, "I'm watching the game. I'm looking at my phone. I'm watching the game. $200,000 later, I own a set of doors." And
I love customers like that.
and these things happen. So
I've had one on the phone too who was driving, doing a phone bid with him, and I said, "You probably should pull over before you get pulled over." And sure enough, whoop, there you go, the sirens. I
Oh,
go,
my
what
goodness.
happened? Oh no.
well, good for him. He
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing that.
No, he
So
should not be
we're
doing
not
that. So pull
encouraging-
over if you're gonna bid online with
Not
us.
encouraging driving and bidding.
But one of the things is we want to bring up about this too is that when we're talking about these high bids, that's two people. It takes two people to bid against each other. These items don't bid themselves up, and that's the beauty of an auction. When you get two guys that want something, they're not going to let the
They're
other
gonna
guy
go
have
for
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely.
It's definitely kind of an ego trip
Yeah.
sometimes too.
And we
for some
see it
people.
time and time again. I mean, we sold a military uniform, a general's uniform, albeit a nice general's uniform, went for over $30,000.
Was it? I thought it was 40. Is that the Beitler one?
Yes. Did that hit 40?
I think that one
Oh,
was
my
40.
goodness. Better yet, folks.
Better yet. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Randy Donley from Donley Auctions, and I'm currently looking for old guns and military items for upcoming auctions. Old helmets, uniforms, swords, flags, and daggers from any wars. If you have old Japanese samurai-type swords, call me because you could be sitting on a fortune.
But you won't know till you give us a call at 815-923-7000 or send us photos at consign, CONSIGN, at donleyauctions.com. That's DONLEY, auctions with an S.com. Thanks for sticking with us during that break. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here on WLS 890 AM.
Since I just touched on military, I want to mention that we just finished this weekend an auction yesterday, a gun auction.
Gun auction was yesterday. Military's today.
So we do firearm auctions all the time. We hold 4 firearm auctions a year, so we can always help you. You know, it's tough. It's tough in the state of Illinois. It's tougher in the city of Chicago to sell firearms. The most important thing, ladies and gentlemen, that you need to do if you have one gun or an entire collection is make sure that what you're doing is legal.
That's correct.
That's where we come in. We can take all the burden off of you as far as the stress and what do I do, how do I do it, because we are FFL, meaning Federal Firearm Licensed Dealers, and we will be taking care of all state and federal laws for you. We can come in and pick up your guns, or you can bring them to us. We'll tell you how to do that. But either way, we can make sure that your guns get sold for top dollar and legally.
One question I know you always get is, do I need a FOID card to give you my firearms?
Well, everybody who has firearms should, in fact, have a FOID card. Now, the big problem there is this. Okay, somebody just inherited a collection.
Right, they're not going to have
They
one.
don't have a FOID card. Well, folks, you legally don't have to run and apply for a FOID card and
right.
try to take care of that. You can consign guns to us without a FOID card, and we will take it from there. Once you consign the guns to us, all the serial numbers are being put in the national data bank, and we again are complying for you with all state, federal laws. And then we put them, as Mike would tell you, we put them online, we describe them, we photograph them, we get them sold, we ship them legally. Everything is done properly. We do not want guns falling into the hands of people that would be doing criminal activities.
And let's not forget the marketing and social media that we put out for all of our auctions, not just firearms too, but our marketing team, hot shots out there getting all that information out for everybody.
We are very proud of our marketing team here. I mean, just like doing a radio show today.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's another way.
Many auction companies do not or would not do what we do with social media. That is all part of what you're paying us to do. And that is get your items sold for the top dollar. For example, this weekend alone, we're at how many? 3 different shows? Mm-hmm. You're where theoretically right now, Mike? We're pre-recording this, but you're at
York, Pennsylvania. I'm at the Max Military Show in York, Pennsylvania.
So as we speak, Mike is actually out in Pennsylvania, and we will be set up also at the Civil War show this weekend, which I think that it does not run on Sunday. So
it's just a Saturday show.
It ended on Saturday. We were at the DuPage County Fairgrounds this weekend, but every weekend we're at different shows and sales promoting what you have given us. You give us the items, we promote it, we work hard to sell your items for top dollar.
Going back to the guns, I'd like to speak to something for a moment, and
Please.
that's, a lot of times husbands start the gun collections or have their gun collections. They pass away, and we see this all the time. The woman, the wife, is charged with getting rid of all these items, and she has no idea what to do. She has no idea of the value or what her husband has. It was his hobby. And he was never telling her what he was spending on guns.
Right.
Now,
Or how to handle them.
all of a sudden, the husband's friends show up, and I'll give you this for this one, and I'll give you that for that one, and they're taking advantage. It doesn't happen all the time, but we see it a lot.
You know, Mike, it is sad. We get called in sometimes after the fact, and when we find out what widows received for what they've sold off, it's really sad that friends would take advantage of a wife like that.
Well, I also think those firearms that they're giving to friends and neighbors should be registered.
Well, yeah, you just can't give stuff away
guns
like that.
away
No,
like that.
but,
No, so we handle all of the bookwork for that.
But again, sometimes a husband's collection is worth a lot of money. I mean, if he has a lifetime collection there, you could be talking well over $100,000. That's not uncommon at all. And
you're going to love this one, folks, because this just happened. Woman called us. She had a bunch of antiques to sell and everything, but nothing of any specific. But when she was talking about what she had, she mentioned she had a bunch of gun cases. And I said, well, if you have gun cases, what happened to the guns? And she said, well, I took them to the police department. I gave them to the police. I didn't know what else to do with them. And so I asked her to, in fact, call the police department and tell her that they had found, or she had found us and wanted to retrieve her guns. And in fact, again, police officers are there to help you, and they were certainly there to help her. And they were so happy that she had found the right way to get rid of her guns, and they had us pick up the gun collection. They still had it there. They hadn't disposed of it yet, and she was so happy to find out how to get rid of the guns. She just didn't know, and she took them there and dropped them off. It happens. So you need to know what your items are worth. You need to know how to sell them. Now, we keep talking about all these great stories about the best prices and all the top moments, but unfortunately that's not always the case. We have to give the bad news too. We're going to be brutally honest, and so many times people are all excited about what they have, but it's kind of like, we use this analogy all the time, it's kind of like a lottery ticket. Most lottery tickets aren't winners. And that happens an awful lot with items that you're going to be sending us photos or information on, or phone calls, pictures. Every item is not for Donley Auctions, and we can't help you because there's just not enough value in it.
All right, Randy, now you've talked a little bit about how you can consign firearms with us. It's not just firearms, it's ammunition too. Don't forget that. That's a whole nother category. Ammunition, reloading gear, hunting equipment, all kinds of great stuff involving the sportsman
and military
arena.
relics.
Military relics,
I mean, hand
sure.
in hand, military relics just seem to be, always in a home with people who collect firearms.
That's right. So now let's talk about how you can buy the firearms at auction.
Well,
On the
again,
flip side,
a simple process. You go to our website, donleyauctions.com.
click on the red button and you need to get registered to bid. You have to put all your general information. Then you buy something at auction. Where are you located? Are you in the state of Illinois? We have certain rules and regulations we have to follow here. Are you out of state? We cannot have certain items picked up at our location. We would be shipping those to a local federal firearms dealer in your area, because as you know, handguns cannot cross state lines. So it has to be shipped somewhere else. We'll do a transfer for you here.
And of course, everybody needs to comply with all laws. Therefore, any buyers are filling out, is it a 4473?
Yes, a 4473.
Which is a form, an ATF form, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, so that background checks can be done on persons buying firearms. Even just to come in and look at the guns and touch the guns, you have to have a FOID card, firearm owner's identification, which happens to be, we're in a rare state that even has that. Illinois is one of the few states that has that, but nonetheless, if you want to look at firearms at Donley Auctions, you have to have one.
So if you're here and you buy one, you fill out your 4473 form. We walk you through that whole process. It's very simple. And then you have to wait 72 hours before you can pick up any firearms.
That's correct.
And we
Waiting
do background
periods,
check and everything.
apply.
Yeah.
Again, our job for you is to make sure that firearms are not only bought but sold legally. Every state and federal law is complied with, and we never want firearms falling into the wrong hands. There's so many uses for firearms that are legal. I mean, hunting is one of the biggest. We sell so many hunting weapons here. But there's also all different collector's grade of antique weapons, military weapons. I mean, you name it, there's so many reasons that people collect. And even if somebody wants an old rusted plinker to hang above their fireplace that couldn't possibly function, you'll probably find it here.
That's right. And just a reminder, too, if you are out of state, you will be required to send us your local federal firearms dealer's license so that we can ship it directly from point A to point B. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour. We'll be right back.
Remember that old box of sports cards? It's more than a memory, it could be a treasure. Hi, I'm Ryan with Donley Auctions, and I am looking for your sports memorabilia, cards, and other collectibles. Turn your collection into cash. Call me today at 815-923-7000.
Donley Auctions, Donley, auctions with an S, always looking for quality consignments.
815-923-7000.
And that's 815-923-7000.
Give me a call today.
Thanks for sticking with us during that break. You're listening to the Donley Auctions Hour right here on WLS 890 AM. Well, speaking of upcoming auctions, Randy, one of my all-time favorites coming up in October is our annual Fall Classic, October 23rd through the 25th. Such great items on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. General antiques, and then we jump into Friday night with 300 of the best that incorporates coin-op, slot machines, jukeboxes, all kinds of stuff like that. Saturday, sports memorabilia.
And we'll probably be doing some toys and jewelry at the same time.
Oh,
so,
yes. Lots of that, too.
I said earlier that you're going to be meeting some of our other experts on the shows and so on and so forth. Right now, everybody today happens to be out at other shows. Ryan, our sports expert, he's out on the prowl right now, picking up a big sports collection that we're going to be offering you. And just yesterday, he picked up an incredible coin collection and paper money collection. So watch for those. Currency.
And currency, yes. So that's coming up also in our October Fall Classic. The sports world is just hot right now, and Ryan's phone is ringing off the wall with sports collectibles. So again, if you have anything like that, give us a call at 815-923-7000 or email us at consign@donleyauctions.com. And we'll put you in touch with Ryan, our sports expert, for a no-obligation chit-chat.
But I would like Mike, before the show ends, to talk about the November auction, which is Native American and Old West.
Yeah, I'm calling it the Cowboys and Indians auction.
Oh, I love it.
Because it combines we have a few different collections. There's a Native American collection from a professor out of Madison University in Wisconsin.
Wow.
We have a great arts and crafts furniture collection
Yep.
that kind of ties in with it, that style of furnishings. And then we have the Wild West Town cowboy collection here. We're going to be starting to part that out. So there's going to be a lot of great things coming up in there. On the Native American side, we have basketry, pottery, implements that they used, pipes, tomahawks, just some
Imagine some arrowheads.
arrowheads
Wow.
in there. I mean, just some really, really killer stuff.
That's coming up November 22nd, 23rd, right?
Correct.
That's
So-
before Thanksgiving.
So yeah, if you have anything that might fit into that, send us a photo. We'd love to see what you
Susan,
have.
how would they consign?
All right. If you have anything to fit into our November Cowboys and Indians auction, call us now at 815-923-7000 or email us with some photos. Where you located? What do you have? At consign@donleyauctions.com.
Wow. So beyond that, we also are always, again, looking for, we mentioned earlier sports, but we are constantly on the prowl for coin collections.
Yes.
And that's another Ryan Boyle specialty. You'll meet him probably next week. We'll have him on the air.
I would think so. He's got some great stuff he wants to share with everyone.
Absolutely.
All right, so again, just a reminder, go to our website at donleyauctions.com. That's DONLEY for all of our upcoming auctions that we talked about today. There's also a tab on our website that will explain to you what it means to be a consigner and what it means to be a buyer. We try to keep it as simple as possible so that you can buy some new collections. And if you're a consigner, we're going to make sure we fit it in your wallet. My favorite line.
One of our taglines.
So that wraps up another episode of the Donley Auctions Hour right here on WLS AM 890 every Sunday at 10 a.m. Thank you so much for listening to our first show at this time slot. We hope you join us again next week. And don't forget to visit us at our website at donleyauctions.com. That's DONLEY, auctions with an S.com.
But at any rate, for now,
I'm Susan.
I'm Mike.
and I'm Randy Donley, and we'll see
see
you at the auction.